All right, hey friends, Dr. Holly here. Happy 5-Minute Friday. I hope you all had a fabulous week, a fabulous April, really. I mean, so many things are blossoming in springtime. I don't know about you, but we're getting back to finally doing a little bit of travel. Got some conferences on the books. We're going to in-person CE this weekend, and my husband's speaking at a conference. We're actually both speaking this weekend. So, we're planning for summer. I don't know if you've got kids, but, it's just, life is feeling good. I mean, it doesn't mean that there's not some days that, it's rainy, don't really want to get out of bed, but we've got things to do. All right, so this week, 5 minutes to profitability. I want to talk to you about stepping into that CEO role. Now, I want to know, how many of you identify with this title of a CEO or a Chief Executive Officer? Are you this in your business or in your practice? Or is it somebody else? Or is it nobody, really? So I want you to sort of think about your title and your role of being a business owner, being a practice owner. I know for like the first couple of years, I mean, my husband and I didn't really identify. I didn't really think that the CEO thing was a thing, really. It was, we were practice owners, we were small business owners, and it wasn't really until the last couple of years that I've stepped into this more embracing of knowing the entrepreneurial journey and just knowing, the personality type that comes along with that, and really just stepping into honing in on being a CEO, being a businesswoman. One of my best friends, my biz bestie, told me recently that until she implemented Profit First, she never really had considered herself to be a businesswoman. Okay, that's a pretty big thing to say. Okay, so you guys know I love Profit First. So how can we think about this? So how does Profit First help you step into that CEO role? Well, I'll tell you that what it did for me was it just gave us the intention. Like, I love numbers. I've always loved numbers. I've always loved spreadsheets. I keep track of everything meticulously, but there really was no forecasting or any sort of forward motion or structure behind how I managed to cash in our business until we implemented a system like Profit First. Now, again, reminder, this is not Chiro specific, okay? I specifically work with chiropractors to help them implement Profit First in their businesses because I'm so keenly aware with what goes on in a chiropractic business, okay? I've owned one. I have my own chiropractic practice right now, and I do consider myself to be a CEO. So are you in that role as well? Okay, Profit First, getting clear on your numbers helps you to step into that role. Okay, so I want to throw some women's stats at you, or some WOS stats. I shared this on a presentation recently that I did, and if you're not a woman, then I don't think it's time for you to tune out. I think it's time for you to think and realize how different businesses are run when they have female leadership. Okay, so only 2% of women reach or exceed the $1 million revenue. Again, I'm not casting judgment. I'm not telling you have to have $1 million practice. I certainly don't. But another number we have is that women are 1.7 times more productive than male counterparts. Okay, let's celebrate that. We have different attributes. We are an asset to any team, but especially to a leadership team. Women tend to fail faster and scale slower. So what does that mean? That means that we're really quick to try something, and then if it fails, maybe it kind of has a setback. But then once we find something that works, we continue to work that system until growth feels natural for us. So I think that most of the women that I know, at least, are more risk averse when it comes to making big, flashy decisions. Less likely to take on, a big, huge debt, or more likely to get scrappy, for lack of a better term, to get our practices up and running. Okay. Philanthropy is a huge part of our business models. We contribute back to our local community 6 times rate than our male counterparts. Again, okay? So 85% of women-owned businesses have no employees. That means no support staff. We are a one-woman show in a lot of scenarios, okay? But as we grow, there are hiccups that comes with that, okay? So I get this question a lot from women in, how do I know when I can hire more staff? I'm just so overwhelmed. Who's that first person that I want to hire? Well, it may be a part-time position. It may be a VA. It may be you take on more of your support system, like having a chiropractic business coach in your back pocket to get really clear on your numbers before you make the step in actually having a in-house employee, okay? So, and then just thinking about thought leadership, as far as we tend to involve, once we do get to the point of having employees, we tend to build relationships really deeply and involve those other people in our decision-making points, okay? So listen, here, this is what I want you to know. I'm not special, okay? I love numbers. I love chiropractic, and I love supporting women. I want to keep women in this profession. And I think that honing in on being very clear on our numbers, paying ourselves what we are worth is huge. That's how we keep ourselves in this profession, just being honest. I talked to you guys last week about, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, about that whole word profit. And is that a dirty word? Is that a bad word? Do we want to not be achieving that? No, we just have to shift our perspective on that, okay? I worked with a client this week and I gave her permission to pay herself double, okay? What she was paying herself every single week, and it was not a lot of money. So we're paying her double on a monthly scale, and then we're also moving to paying her 2 times a month. So we're making that number look even bigger. But the fact is that, throughout the year, she was having to pull money from her business because her business was not supporting her family. So she was having to pull these large chunks of money out of her business because her business was not regularly supporting her and her family's lifestyle and what their basic needs were. Okay, so I gave her permission. She's generating tons of cash in her business. Her business is successful. Her practice is sustaining year over year. We just need to pay herself more. Okay, so just a little client example there I want to throw in there. I am taking beta clients, so I know I'm coming up on 5 minutes, or I'm probably right over it. I'm sorry, these 5-minute Fridays sometimes just get the best of me. I'm enrolling beta clients. If you want to spend a quarter or two with me, Dr. Holly, to implement Profit First, to dive in deep on your numbers, then please, please, please reach out to me. Let's hop on Zoom. Let's hop on the phone. Let's chat more about what your needs are in your practice. Have a great weekend.